Hey guys, it's Melissa with Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. Today I was trying to decide what I should record a podcast on. I wasn't really sure what I should do, so I took a few moments to just meditate and ask for guidance. And what I got was that I should do a podcast about balance and fear and living in the moment, and that when we're living in the moment and not in the past and the future, that our emotions are in balance. And so I thought, okay, I want to pick a card for them to read. So I picked actually 3 cards. And you cannot make this stuff up. When we get to the card section, they went right along with what I was talking about. So I'm going to say a little bit, and then I'm going to get straight to the card reading, because then you'll see kind of how it ties into what I wanted to talk to you about anyway, which you can't make that up, it just went hand in hand. So, excuse me. Seems like allergy season's happening again. I guess the weather's changing, the temperature's changing, so I'm getting the whole scratchy throat, which is lovely. So the first card that I got was To Be Fair, and this is from Colette Baron Reid's deck. And it's all about balance, justice, and need to consider opinions, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. So what I get from this is that oftentimes we experience things in our life that are challenging. But over time, those challenges end up bringing balance to our lives. So what I can think of in my own personal life is that the last breakup I went through actually brought about balance to my life, because after the breakup, it caused me to do a lot of soul searching and to figure out why that relationship was so out of balance. And it was completely out of balance. I felt like I was giving a whole lot more than I was getting. And I felt if you were to look at a relationship as 2 individual people being circles, like my circle was being covered up by the other person's circle, and that's kind of how it felt. And I just wasn't shining too much in the relationship or able to give too much. And the thing is that I realized that was all my fault. At least I was responsible for 100% of my own actions in the relationship. So me not speaking up, not speaking my truth, not setting boundaries that were healthy, that was me allowing myself to be taken over by the other person. Because I don't really think that this person had mean intentions or that he wanted to do that. I don't believe that for a minute. I think that's just what happened because of our personalities and the fact that I wasn't standing up for myself. So I had to go through that relationship and that situation. There were a lot of good things about it. Definitely were a lot of good things. But I had to go through the painful breakup of that relationship because it brought about balance in my life. It made me go within, and I had to look at myself and say, okay, what was my responsibility in this relationship? What was I doing that caused the outcome? And in doing that, I ended up taking a lot of online classes. So I took a spiritual boot camp, which was amazing and totally changed my entire outlook on life. And they even went a step further, and I took a class just solely about relationships and how to make relationships work, like what was my role in that. And it was really geared toward people who are like me, who are overgivers and who have a fear of abandonment. So, which I already knew I had that, but I didn't really know how to deal with it because I'd gone to counseling many times and they just didn't seem to help me deal with that issue. So I learned techniques that I needed to use. I learned that I needed to show up and be authentic in the relationship and to set healthy boundaries, all of those things. So that brought me into balance. And so for me, I'm not worried about what the future holds at all because I know that I've done all of that work. So I know that the next good relationship that comes in is going to be wonderful because I've already done all of the groundwork. I've worked on myself. And I know now, too, that I'm not going to put up with any bull. So I don't settle for crappy half-assed relationships. I'm just not doing that anymore. So when a lot of people are like, well, why are you still single? Here's why. Because I'm not going to put up with getting crumbs. out of relationships anymore. It's not what I'm looking for, it's not what I want, and it's a waste of my time to be with people who aren't really going to be fulfilling to me. So I don't mess around with that, and I'm not going to be with people who don't respect me as much as I respect me, because I have a lot of self-love and self-respect, and that's taken a long time to really realize that I respect myself and love myself and that I need to do those things. And now that I know that I am doing those things for myself, I'm not going to be with anybody who also doesn't do those things for me, who doesn't love me, who doesn't respect me, any of those things. I'm not going to put up with that because I know what I deserve, I know what I'm worth, and I'm worth way more than that. So it's going to take really, the knight on the white horse for me to come in, because I know that. And I'm not saying, this person is not unattainable. I'm just saying that they have to be the type of person that has a lot of integrity and is willing to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated, so that it's an equal partnership and not me giving, and not getting anything back. And that was kind of a long-winded story, so I apologize for that. But that's my example of this, that I had to go through this experience because it was bringing me into balance, and it's going to bring my next relationship into balance. So you're always going to have these situations that come up, and if you're not content with where you are, remember that all of these experiences have their place. So just accept them without judgment, and you'll see how the universe will adjust in perfect balance. You reap what you sow, and for every cause, there's an effect. So a lot of wondrous things will be revealed through these experiences. Another side note to this card is the relationship message. Can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as being asked to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there's mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. So that was one of the things that I didn't see in my relationship, was that I did not feel valued and I did not feel heard, because when I tried to voice the concerns that I had, and I now know that those were just triggers that were triggering things that I had to work on within myself. But when I voiced that something was a trigger for me, I was kind of brushed off and acted like it was in my head, and, I was being silly and overreacting. So never be with somebody who doesn't genuinely hear you. They may not, it doesn't mean that they have to agree with you just because they're listening to you, but we all want to, that's our basic human need, is to feel like we're being heard. I know that with my children. Whenever I started changing the way that I talk to my children and let them know that I was listening to them and trying to understand where they were coming from, the communication got so much better. So if you're in a relationship, it's important that you each feel like you're being heard. And again, it doesn't mean that you have to agree with each other. It just means that you have a voice and that your voice is being heard and that you feel valued, because that's really what we all want. We all want to feel like we're valuable, and we are all valuable, but sometimes we come into contact with people who don't treat us as though we are. And as soon as you come into contact with someone like that, get away, because all they're going to do is lower your self-esteem and your self-worth, and don't ever let anybody take that power away from you, ever. There's also a prosperity message here. It says, now is the time for even exchanges. Justice will prevail, and you will be treated accordingly. In all your affairs, you must be able to negotiate fair settlements. Mutual gain is the gift to you and your partners and colleagues. This is also a good time to square your finances and take stock of how you're compensated for your work. This card signifies balance, justice, and negotiation, so remember that all things must be fairly compensated. Keep this as your truth, and so it will be. All right, And so, like I said, that went right along with what I was going to talk to you about the balance. And then the next card that we got from Colette Baron-Reid's deck is Fork in the Road. Time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. So when you come to one of those places where you have to make a decision, I mean, that's another one of those, I think, a shining example of situations that bring us into balance, because when we have to make a choice, sometimes we're choosing to let go of things we truly love, but they're no longer serving us. And that could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be just a friendship. It's hard to do that. It's hard to let go of things. I don't know, if you're like me, don't look in my closets at my house, because I will tell you that you need to declutter your house, and then don't look in my closets, because I'm really bad about that. I'm very sentimental, and I will hold on to things, oh, my daughter drew this in the first grade. So I need to go through and try to figure out a way to organize all of that, but other stuff you need to let go of. Anything that doesn't really hold value for you anymore, let it go. But this is in protection, and the protection message is indecision is extremely frustrating and will lead to anxiety, loss, and confusion. At this juncture, you can't remain in a place without losing your way altogether. Avoid the tendency to let others choose for you, which amounts to a subtle refusal to take responsibility. Don't give your power away. We just talked about that. There's a synchronicity there. Don't give your power away, not even to this oracle. By not making a choice, you're making a choice for which you must be accountable. If that choice leads to undesirable circumstances, take heart. Spirit never tires of giving you a second chance. You can always start again once you've learned this valuable lesson. Yeah, and we've said that whatever is meant to be yours will not pass you by. So if you're not sure, just take the leap. Take the leap sometimes. Obviously, I think, it depends on what it is. But if it's just something that fear is holding you back, just do it. Because if it is divined and it is meant to be, it's going to happen. And if it's not, it was a lesson. And so there was something there for you to learn. And either way, there's really nothing to be afraid of. Because at the end of the day, we have another day, the next day, to get up and start all over again. So just don't let fear hold you back. All right. And our last card was TikTok. Timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. And it's in protection. So it means, have you been feeling as if the clock is ticking and gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? There's nothing to fear. So there we go again. Don't fear. You will never run out of time for important things. The miracles that are yours and yours alone can't be missed. Isn't that amazing? You're in such capable hands with guides and angels hovering in the invisible spaces, ensuring that your journey will be filled with all sorts of goodies. Let your anxiety be gently dispelled by your faith. Spirit will never deny you your highest good. All is yours in divine, appropriate timing. You can relax. So yeah, again, guys, if you're in a point where you need to make a decision, you need to do something, just move on it. Making, the only bad decision you can make is not to make a decision. And even when you do that, you're still making a decision, but usually it's not going to end up in your favor because you allowed fear to come in. And we talked about how you should be making all of your decisions based in love and not in fear. And I can tell you that every time that I've made a decision based in fear, it led to disastrous results. And that's exactly what happened in my last relationship when I allowed my fears to control me and not allow me to shine and be myself and be the authentic person that I am. And so that's not ever going to happen again for me because I had to learn that lesson. And, excuse me, the other thing that you need to consider is that if you call on your spiritual team and you ask for the things that you want, but you ask it in a way such as this. If you say, I want this thing, if it's for my highest good, this or better. So 2 things you need to ask, that it's for your highest good and the highest good of all of those involved. Because if you're asking about relationships, it's not just about you, it's about the other person too. And maybe you aren't for their highest good. I don't know. But if it's meant to be, it's not going to pass you by. So just say your little prayer and ask that it is for your highest good and the highest good of those involved, and that this or better, because sometimes we dream too small and the universe has better things, better people, better whatever for us. So keep that in mind and always get into the habit of that practice. Well, I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and then I ended up going on and on and on. So I hope that this helped you today, and I hope that you have an awesome day. I love you guys, and I'm sending you so much positive energy. You guys can do anything you set your minds to. I believe in that. I honestly do. I believe that I have so many awesome followers, and you guys are going to be doing some really awesome things. If you are interested at all in trying to learn how to change your mindset to tap into the abundance and happiness that you so richly deserve, if you want to learn how to completely rewrite your story and change your outcome so that you are getting everything you deserve, then check out A Purposeful Pilgrimage, my 22-day program. It's a membership, so you will go to my website and you pay to join. I'll send you an email and you'll get a code to log in, and then you will have access to this program whenever you want it, 24/7. And I am adding new things all the time, so don't miss out on that. And if you are interested in Reiki, again, please check out my website. You can either book online through my website, or you can send me a message through Facebook and Instagram, and I have links to both Facebook and Instagram on my website. You can even email me. My email is on my website as well. My Reiki sessions are not like any other normal Reiki session. I really call on my team, and we get to the heart of what's going on with you, and I can tap into how you're feeling emotionally and any physical problems you're having and any situations you're going through. And then I call on my team and ask them how we can heal you of those situations. What's the best thing we can do for you? So you really get attention. I spend a lot of time talking about what you need and what we can do to help you the best. So check that out. If you're interested in any essential oils, if you're experiencing allergies like I am right now, I need to start taking those allergy pills again. Those really helped me. They worked a lot, and I didn't have those stupid side effects of feeling like a zombie for the whole day, which as a teacher, you don't want to turn your back on kids at any given point. That's not a good idea. So it helps me out a lot because then I can still stay focused. So again, as always, if you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Please give me some stars on iTunes. Leave me comments. Love you guys. If there's anything that you want to hear or any topic you're interested in, you can also let me know that. If you like the card readings and you want me to continue doing that, you can let me know that as well. I just try to do what I think you need and what you need to hear the most. So hopefully that is what you need to hear. Love you guys. I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.